Now it's a bang. Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. How's everybody doing? So, all the packages have been sent out. Anybody who's won a giveaway in the past few giveaways, all your stuff's on the way, except for one guy. Meager. I don't know if he's in here or not right now. I'll email him. Hopefully, he's already emailed me. I didn't check it today, but I need his phone number. They won't allow me to ship to Canada without the phone number. So, but we got everybody else handled, and which is very, very cool. I'm happy everybody's getting or gonna be getting their prizes. Hopefully, none of them get lost in the mail. Which I hate to jinx myself. Has never happened to me yet. I've had some hiccups, but it hasn't happened to me to where like it's just been completely lost or gone. I've had stuff shipped to me that's went missing. I've had a bunch of other different stuff, but not like actually like just mailing. Like they one time almost sent something out of the country that I was shipping. But anyway, so we have some new knives I'm going to check out for the first time on the channel. Just a few, like what, 4 or 5 or something. And some of these are really, really cool. The thumbnail, you've seen a Kershaw. And I wanted to talk about this one. It is a couple years old, not mine. Mine's brand new, but I'm saying like the model's a couple years old. But this is just such a good example of Kershaw's manual action. And it's like, man, why do they not do more manual knives, like good quality ones, you know? Anyway, so this is the Method. It's just a budget knife. And also, do you hear that detent? This thing's nice. That action's really, really good. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this came from Monthly Knife Club. So shout out to Monthly Knife Club. I don't think I linked it in the description. I'll be doing a video on the full package. But anyways, the point I wanted to talk about this with or about is just how crispy good Kershaw's action is, you know, even on these little budget knives. Like this is action. Like there was a saying when I first got into the community, there was a saying, and it was zero tolerance action, right? Because there was like 2 standards. There was like Shirogorov standards, and then there was like zero tolerance standards, because like zero tolerances manual actions were always like super good. And yeah, this is really high quality action for, you know, an affordable knife like this. The only thing is that detent. Look at how late that detent is. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. Not a big deal, you know. It's just a little budget banger. 8CR steel. Not a big fan of 8CR personally. Sharpening tool and plunger on looks horrendous, but whatever. I mean, it's more of a pinch grip knife. It does have a hollow grind, but it's love that sound. But anyway, so I think it's pretty cool. I think Kershaw. So Kershaw has like a place in my heart, man, because you know, Kershaw. I was buying Kershaws, you know, when I was doing construction. I bought basically only Kershaws. No, I was buying them Smith & Wesson ones too. When I really needed a knife and I didn't have much money, I could get a Smith & Wesson for about $12 from AutoZone. And I probably went through a couple dozen of those because they'd break, they'd snap, you'd lose them, they'd fall off of a roof or something. But the Kershaws, I always spent a little bit more on, like $60. And to me at that time, that was, you know, a big deal. Like that was a quality knife. And the chances of me losing it or getting it stolen off of a job site was like 100%. So every single one of them. I had one that I wound up buying multiple times in a row because I loved it so much. But because of that, you know, they're always going to have like a place in my heart. I'm always going to be rooting for them. I just, man, I wish they would do more. I know they just did the Bel Air. They also got, and I'm talking about the USA line. I wish they would do more USA knives that are manual. But yeah, I guess I don't mind like the iridium and knives like that that are really good, but are made overseas, but you know, they're really, really good. So I wouldn't mind seeing something like that manual too. You know, they'd probably be able to keep the price way down in that case, hopefully. Just picked up my first SHF in CN Damascus. Tutorial or not tutorial? They need to quit with the assisted knives. I agree. I think assisted is just, it's outdated. It's done. And you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, I've been saying it. I mean, everybody's been saying it, but their market is box store brand buyers, which I've said a million times. That's gonna go away. It's only a matter of time before, you know, to get a knife from a box store, you would be a fool. You'd be a fucking complete fool, unless you desperately had to. But you know, the place to get a knife is going to be from a dealer. And people are going to wind up recognizing that as more time goes on, right? It just, you know, it's inevitable. So I don't think it's in their best interest to keep appealing to big box stores. I understand having them. There are some people that absolutely love them. So yeah, you know, go for it with some, but I don't think it should be all of them for sure. Okay, so the next knife we have that we're going to check out. Actually, you know what? I want to show you guys the stone first. I got a new Hapstone 100. Man, these fucking things. Look at that. That is so aggressive. I love it. Hapstone has, in my opinion, the best diamond plates, not resin bonded diamond stones, so like not stones, but diamond plates for fixed angled systems. Low country hillbilly with the 5 bones, been swimming in the salt with my quiet carry. That's awesome, man. I got mine sitting here somewhere. I've been carrying the shit out of it. I actually just sharpened it up again because I chipped the edge all the hell. I ran it across a bunch of staples. Washing it in the boat. Wait. Been swimming in the salt with my quiet carry current all day with the fam. Washing it in the boat, then myself, but not missing. You can't miss, yeah, you can't miss Neevesknives lives. I appreciate that. That's definitely really cool of you. I appreciate everybody who shows up and goes out of their way to show up. But yeah, man, these diamond plates, and I appreciate the 5 bones too, man. Thank you. These damn diamonds, man. Look at that. You can just see that fuckers are aggressive. But that's what I love about it. This is a stone. So my other one, I still have another one, but I sharpen so much. It's just inevitable that a diamond plate's going to wear out, especially a small one like this, right? So they're all going to wear out, but the smaller they are, the faster they're going to wear out. And then the finer the diamonds, the faster, meaning like a 2000 grit diamond plate is going to wear out far faster than say a 100. So, and then the quality of the stones and how the diamonds are on the surface. You going on Kershaw trip or has it already happened? No, it happened on the 15th. No, I missed it. I couldn't go, man. I got the thing in the mail, like literally like 5-6 days before it happened. They gave me a heads up a couple weeks before, but you kind of forget about it. And by the time I got the thing in the mail, it's like, man, I'm not prepared to, do this right now. I wanted to so bad because to me, that would have been like, that could have led to some really good shit. Because the networking I could do there would be insane. Like I would, and I'm not saying this would have happened, but my intentions would have been to get in good with Kershaw and hopefully start designing knives with them. But hey, did you see? Oh shit! What the? Oh no! What just happened? Uh-oh. Where is all the comments? There we go. Did you see MC's video on steel quality? He didn't do Nitro V, but I was put 14C28 and D2 together. I wouldn't do that. I think 14C is better. Oh yeah, I think 14C is way better. 14C, in my opinion, is going to be better in many reasons. So technically, if both steels are heat treated properly and have a quality heat treatment, D2 is going to outcut 14C all day. However, with production knives, we don't see that as much. I'm not saying there's going to be a lot of D2 that outcuts 14C, but there's also going to be some 14C that outcuts D2. And the reason why is because D2 is so difficult, so much more difficult for companies to heat treat on a consistent level, right? It's not like it's hard for them to heat treat. It's hard for them to do it on a consistent level where it's going to be the same across the board. And D2 is a finicky steel, meaning like it has to be, to my understanding, it has to be heat treated within like, I think a 50-degree range. And if it goes higher or lower than that, then it's compromised. So it makes it to where companies that are mass producing knives that have to they have to pump them out as fast as possible. They're not going to be able to be consistent. They just can't. Now, 14C is the exact opposite. It's like one of the easiest steels to heat treat because it was literally made to be heat treated in mass production. It's a steel designed for mass production. So it's super easy to heat treat for companies fast. So, I personally wouldn't put them in the same boat together, but I could see why somebody would, especially like if you're not like a steel tester or anything like that, because a lot of people's perspective is like Blade HQ, right? You go to the steel chart, and I think that's a great chart to look at. I'll pull it up. It's a great chart to look at, and I think that people should. I think this is a good way to kind of get a general idea about steels. The thing is they are wrong about a couple steels on this list, and I know why. But hey, man, let me pull this up. Low Country Hillbilly with another 2 bones. Love some of the new Kershaw clips, but all assisted. I know, man. This one's manual, but it's a budget knife. So most knife guys aren't going to be getting 8CR. So, but yeah, with the steel chart, like if you go down here, right? So you'll see this is premium steels, and this is just edge retention right here, what we're looking at. If we click on any of these, so like let's say CPM S90V, it'll take us to this chart, which gives us toughness, corrosion resistance, ease of sharpness, and edge retention. Then you can see them all right here, and it kind of gives you a general idea and then tells you where the number is. Like edge retention, it would be like a number 2. Not saying it's the second most long-lasting edge, but it's really close to being like a number 1 in edge retention. Like what would be a number 1? Rex 121, Maximet. Those would be number 1 steels. First place. Toughness would be like a 28, meaning it's not the toughest steel compared to tough steels. Anyways, but if we move down, you see we have high-end steels now. Some of these are not high-end steel, so this chart is already ass backwards. AEBL is absolutely not a high-end steel. 52100, absolutely not a high-end steel. CPM 154, it's better than 154 CM, but I wouldn't put it like that far ahead of it. I personally don't even like it more than 154 CM. I like 154 CM way more than the CPM 154. But anyways, when we come back down here to the mid-range steels, so this is where you're going to find our budget knives, because budget knives now are using technically mid-grade steels. So like you'd say like 4 or 5 years ago, they were all using these steels. These bottom of the barrel steels, 8CR, 440A, CTS BD1. CTS, that's actually a good steel. I'm not going to put that in the same category. That should be actually in the mid grades. But anyways, OS 8, those steels, that's what we used to see on budget knives. Now, good budget knives, quality budget knives, and this also goes to with my argument where people are going to be getting their knives soon because they're not going to be able to get great budget knives for a great price at big box stores with good steels. But if you are going to a good company that, like a lot of the good budget knife companies, they're going to be using a mid-range steel on their budget knives. Now, all these being in this category, yeah, they all are mid-range steels. Sorry, not knives, mid-range steels. but that doesn't mean they're not the same though. There's so many differences in these steels. It's crazy. Like H1, I wouldn't even put here. The only reason why H1 is here is because it's hot, its corrosion resistance is off the charts. Look at its edge retention. 1 out of 10. It literally will lose its edge just looking at something to cut. And I fucking hate that steel. I personally don't like it. So, anyways, but I think with people, I guess where I was going with this is I think some people tend, like, say if they're not testing steels and not sharpening constantly, you know, they have a lot of steels and they might use their knives. I'm not saying they don't use their knives, but they're not constantly testing and really seeing the differences in steels. And you know, when you sharpen one steel to another, like, and you've done it 1,000 times, you really start getting an idea of like that steel's identity, like the way it deburrs, how hard it is on the stone, what grit it does best with, what angles it does best with, what it's not going to do good with. And it gives you a whole nother perspective on steels. But when it's more of like, you know, you just, you know, seeing them, like I said, online, you know, looking at the charts and reading about it, you having them, you know, and paying for them, your perspective, I think, is a little bit different. Obviously, right? Obviously, it's going to be way different for the person that uses it versus somebody who's, you know, just checking them out. There's a guy that did a video and I felt like he was talking about me. He might not have been. I should pull him up. I did write it down somewhere. This guy does a lot of outdoors videos, hunting. He's a hunter and shit, but he's done many knife sharpening videos. And he did one that I felt like he was talking about me because he loves, you know, he wasn't saying nothing bad, but there was a couple little, you know, a little shin kicks. Let's just say that. No kick to the nuts, just some shin kicks, which is fine. I like some some shin hits every once in a while. But I am thinking about doing a response video, not a response video like in a way to be negative towards him, but literally because the video, his sharpening videos, he obviously knows how to sharpen a knife. I'm not taking that from it, not even a little bit. But there's a little bit of information in the videos that are not necessarily wrong, but they're not necessarily right either. It's like there's like gray areas and like and then also some of the understanding, you know, of it. And I know, like, because he also brought up like say knife sharpening nerds, you know, like somebody like me who gets like really technical and all that bullshit. Um, you know, yeah, I do because I'm running a channel and I'm trying to give people the best idea and the best understanding possible. Now he's a hunter, so his knife sharpening and his knives are used for hunting. And some of the things that he was saying, like, you know, were 100% true. And he has, you know, way more hunting experience than me and using a knife out in the field, probably with, you know, cutting up deers and stuff. Now I've hunted. I grew up hunting, but you can tell this guy's a fucking hunter. He's a real hunter. So I you know, I wouldn't hold a candle to him as far as that goes, but with knife sharpening and understanding knife maintenance, I would. And even being in the field, you know, I used knives for construction my whole life. I've used knives for work my entire life. I've used them on everything, including deers and shit. But my point by saying this is that the edge maintenance and the way you're going to maintain your edge, it might go dull quick doing a deer, and maybe a replaceable bladed knife would be better for you. But there's ways you can easily maintain your edge out in the field quickly, very quickly and properly. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I thought about it because he has like 3 or 4 videos on sharpening and just some of the information. I kind of wanted to not, I feel like I'm gonna be a dickhead if I do it. That's why I almost don't want to do it, because I don't want to come off like a dickhead. I actually like the guy, you know, I'd love to have him on the channel. But like if I make a video and I'm correcting things he's saying, that can come off like, you know, petty, I guess, and I don't want to do that. Um, But, you know, I want to in a way just because, well, one, for the content, right? I think that'd make good content. But two, I'd like to just, you know, because I think people, you know, do benefit from getting an understanding that are interested in understanding. But you know, I'd hate to come off like a little bitch. So Jared did really not do a review on the ST-124. I could have swore you did because you made me want one. It's hard for me to remember all those, man. They have because they're all fucking numbers. Yes, I do have one of these. Yes, I actually pulled it out of the box the other day. It's a good one. It's one of the better ones, I would say. I should have showed you guys. It's a Sativian, a very, very, very affordable knife. I think they're like $20 or something. Actually, we're gonna see right here. Bang. 29 bucks. You can see it comes in a bunch of different versions. But it's a crossbar lock. They actually do have somewhat of a semi-stronger detent on it. That definitely use big springs. Their Omega springs are big that they use in those. Which it's crazy, you know, like to see so many companies using crossbar locks and using bigger and better Omega springs than a lot of companies that are charging a lot more money, if you know what I mean. Backyard Samurai. Shout out to that guy. Shout out to Backyard Samurai. Yep, a ceramic rod or kangaroo leather strap. Bang bang. Yeah, I would say the you know, for like out in the field sharpener. That's what I would recommend. I would have did a video saying that's what you should get. And he actually had something kind of similar to some extent. I'm trying to remember because there was a bunch of things that like I was like, no, don't, you know, that's not. You should, if you did this, it'd be better. That's what I mean. But not saying it's wrong. But there's like, because there's some things it's like there's no wrong answer. Like it's like what works for you is going to work for you, and what you're good at, you should keep doing. Like if it works for you, do it. And especially like the things you get used to too, you wind up, you know, understanding it more and it winds up working for you probably better than it might for other people, for sure. But that doesn't mean there's not like better ways to do things. It's kind of like maintaining a knife out in the field. If people understood how easy it is to maintain an edge out in the field and keep it going sharp for a very long time, he did make one good statement where he said you don't want to let the edge go dull before you address it. And that's fucking very true. You want to address your edge before it ever even starts showing signs of that. And that's how you keep an edge going for a very long time. Now, let's say you are 3/4 the way done processing a deer, and you've hit some bones, you've hit some things, maybe even hit some dirt, right? Whatever, I don't know, you know, I'm just saying, like your edge is now dull for whatever reason. You know, maybe you were doing stuff even before you got to that part of processing the deer. Now, if your edge is starting to go dull, and it's actually dull, even though you've been maintaining it, now it's to a point to where it's like, it's dull. You can, if you have the right tool, like a field sharpener, you can in 10 seconds put a micro bevel on it. And that micro bevel will not only get you to the end of your trip or end of your shit, but you can still maintain it. It'll be a tough edge. So you're not going to have to worry about chipping and micro chipping from your edge wearing down, because as your edge wears down, it's going to start occurring micro chipping and stuff, especially if you're doing stuff like that. So I think if you want, you could, if you're good at holding an angle, you could go right to the fine diamond and just do a couple passes on the fine diamond very, very gently. Then a couple passes on the ceramic, and you could tune your edge up like that really quick. I can't feature what one can say about Neeves. A master is a master. Crybabies don't like. Expertise. I'm an expert on detecting insecurity. Bang. Yeah, and I don't know if anybody would. I just, you know, it's just the way it goes. Anytime you make a video that is going to feature somebody else, you're gonna get pushback, you're gonna get hate. unless if you're saying like really good things. And I'm not saying I would say anything bad, because I wouldn't. I would actually say a lot of good things. But I'm just saying, like, if there's any thought on like you not agreeing or anything like that, you got to be prepared, especially if somebody has like a big channel, because you're going to catch some fire. Not that I'm worried about catching the fire, but like I said, I don't want to come off, like that. I would rather come off very genuine. And I think I would, but you just always got to put in the back of your head, like, is this worth it? Right? Is this content worth it? People that are just chasing the content, it's worth it. It's always worth it, because like that's what they want. They want those payouts. Dan with the 10 bones has got a big package on the way. Hey, can't stay. I have company over. Just wanted to say hi and have a great weekend. As the immortal Jared used to declare, bang. Dan, thank you, brother. Get with your family. Enjoy your family's time with your family. And enjoy that big box that you have on the way, because it is on the way. I can see a scratch pattern in a mirror edge when you look close enough. Yes. So every edge, even to the most mirrored, well, there you can polish out scratches 100% to where it's so mirrored there's no scratches whatsoever. It's literally like a mirror. However, that's not the best edge for a knife. You can have a mirror edge, but you still want micro scratches, because that's the microscopic serrations. When you've polished all that out, now you don't have just think about like a saw blade, right? A saw blade with no teeth, right? And it just has an edge going down it. That's not going to work very good. It might cut something, but it's not going to stay in a cut. It's going to slip out of cuts. So now if you are shaving, face shaving with the straight razor, then yeah, that's a good idea, because you don't want toothiness in that case. Late to the party, Jacob. You're late again. As usual. Do you know anything about Piranha Knives, USA made, looking at Bodyguard Auto? I do not. Jeff Jewell does, though. I've seen him on his channel a few times. I've never tried them. I've seen them. I've always wanted to try them, but I have not. Hey, Neeves, what do you think about the Petrified Fish Victor? Petrified Fish Victor. Yeah, it's cool. I'm trying to think if I have it. I think I have it. I'm not positive, but I feel like I have it. I'll say this. Petrified Fish, I haven't had too much bad from them. They do a good job. They really do. Petrified Fish is pretty legit. They're even their micarta's decent. Fit, finish, action, all that's on point. Their geometry is usually decently, well done. I've got a bunch of their knives, and all of them are good. I have yet to have had one that was bad. Now, there might be some I don't like because they're just not my style. But as far as just decent quality, they're good. They're great quality for the money. I cannot find your video. And you know why, though? Because I probably didn't name it. If you want to find it, one thing you can do is don't go to my channel and search, go to just YouTube and search Neevesknives Sativian, and then put that in, and then look at some of the top videos, because the reason why the algorithm would pick it up is because I have it linked in the description, and that's it. I probably didn't use the name of the knife in the title. I probably put it in a multi-knife video, so it's probably like 5 or 6 knives, and that's why you're not going to find it. Peter with the 2 bones. My ceramic rod from knife box to kitchen drawer. You know what? Whoever won that, the artisan satire in the members live, I also sent you a diamond rod, and because I know you know that, but the part you don't know about is I found this ceramic rod I was wanting to give away. It's not a big one. It's just a small one like this. It has a wooden handle, and the ceramic's probably like that big. But it's like, I even got myself one. It's perfect for a lot of things. Like sometimes, it's, having a big ass one is just so unnecessary. So, I hate doing a mirror edge when you miss That one deep scratch and you're far into the extra fine stones. Yeah, that's why you want to make sure when you're doing a polished edge, the most important part is going to be your medium grit stones, because the first stone you'd use is going to put the most deepest scratches. Now, if you go through the medium grit stones quick, you're not going to get out the deepest scratch. It'll look like you did because the scratches from the stones you're doing are covering the scratches, but they haven't gotten them out. You want to make sure that like your 400 grit gets all of your 100 grit scratches out, or your 600 grit, and then so on. And then once you get to 1000, 1200 grit, they'll go really fast. The Roaster's been a member for 19 months. Please like and sub, metalheads. Love you, savages. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the support. Let's see here. How good are you at sharpening serrations? I basically treat them like a chisel. I'm okay. I'm not gonna say I'm like amazing. I think the easiest way is just use a Dremel. So you get a Dremel and get there's different wheels you can get, or different stones you can get for the serrations. Just depends on what you want. But you just get a round bit and it's easy. The thing is you usually want to clamp it or put it in some, there's ways to do it where you can have it controlled. So like, excuse me, what you could do is if you have a fixed angle sharpening system, you can clamp it and then duct tape the fucking Dremel to your rod and then use that, so that you can just literally put it down on it and make sure they're all at the same angle. There's a lot of different little tricks to do it. But if you're going to do it by hand, you're going to want a rat file or a rat tail file diamond rod. And yeah, go to town. You can start with a bastard file, or, you know, basically a rat tail bastard file if you want to, but I would finish with diamonds or some sort of stone. David Jewell with the 10 bones. I'm a hunter. Learned from experience. Replaceable blades are not safe, and pull through sharpeners mess your blade up. Yes, they do. Small diamond plate nowadays for sure. Tell them boss. Yeah, that's yeah, you got it, man. I couldn't have said it better. I think the replaceable blades are some of them are probably dangerous. I'm sure they have some good ones though. There are some really, really good ones. So but yeah, of course, that's not going to be as safe as a fixed blade, you know, for hunting. It's not going to be as safe as just a regular folding knife. For sure not. I personally wouldn't want a replaceable blade. But if I did, I would want to resharpen my blades. I wouldn't just replace it. I'd want to still hone and sharpen those blades, because it's just stupid to me. Like, when you know how to sharpen, it's a ridiculous thing to throw out a perfectly good, if you know you can just tune it up. Like if you knew, right? If you had a replaceable blade and you knew that instead of you just using it and throwing it out, that you could spend 30 seconds and have it back to true, back to good, you probably wouldn't be changing blades as much. And you'd maintain those blades, you know, and treat them like just a regular edge. But like I said, I would prefer just a regular fixed blade, or, you know, a folder myself. And yes, fuck a fucking pull through. And that was one thing that guy in the video, I don't know if you've seen that video, David, that I'm talking about, because he started off talking about the pull throughs. Not that he was recommending them, but he talked about how they do work regardless of what these knife, or what do you say, these steel sharpening nerds say, or something like that. I know he was talking about me because I made a full video on that shit. So did Outdoors 55. But no, they don't fucking work. They work, yes. So like, does it make your edge sharper as far as sharpness? Yes. But does it actually sharpen your edge? No. It micro bevels it. There's a big difference there. So now the next thing is it micro bevels it the exact opposite way that you want to put an edge bevel on. It's kind of like let's talk about serrations. Let's just think about serrations. If you were going to put new serrations on your knife, you wouldn't put the serrations side to side, right? No, they have to go up and down. The serrations have to go up and down for them to work properly. They aren't going to work side to side on the blade. Well, that's what a pull through does, is it puts the scratch pattern side to side, and it cuts off any of the teeth that you want, and then it micro bevels it. So the more you use it, the worse it gets. That's how micro beveling goes. You can only micro bevel so many times before it's backfiring on you. And now because, there's only so many micro bevels you can do to, an apex before you're basically like this, and you can't even do anything. And then you got to really reprofile. It would be way better to just maintain that edge and tune it up, hone it, and sharpen it, when necessary. Which honing and, maintaining your edge is always going to be much better in every single way you can imagine for, knives. Like the longevity, the ease of maintenance, how effective it is, how well it cuts, how long it holds an edge, everything. Thoughts on Chavez Redención 229? Thinking about pulling the trigger on it? Need your opinion? I love it. I love it. I got a couple of them. I got 3 of them. I got the chisel grind. I got the one with the scrolls or whatever, and then I got another one, just a regular one. I got the Tontos. I think I have a drop point one. Or no, maybe I have all Tontos. I don't know. Their Tontos are dope though. No, I love it. I think it's a great knife. The kickstop's badass. How do you feel about the Freeman button locks? I love the look, but I am curious as to how much the machine work on the blade would affect usability. Okay, so one, the knife is badass. Very well done. Great knife. I love mine, but there's one massive, massive downfall. And it's pretty significant. The geometry is so thick on that knife. It's not for EDC. That is a knife. It just doesn't make sense, the geometry. It's so unbelievably thick. And then they put a convex edge on it. Now you can obviously put a V ground edge on it and put a low angle edge, and it'll be extremely sharp and cut just fine, right? Cut just fine. But because it's so thick, right? It's like, one, the thickness is going to affect the cutting. It's going to affect your edge retention. It's going to affect a lot. Now, like I said, yeah, if you like those types of knives, and fuck yeah, it's great. I love mine, but it's not something I would sit there and use. Like I would never grab it and break down a box. I would never grab it. Like of all knives to grab, I would never grab it. Put it that way. Now, maybe if there was something tough I was doing, but then again, I don't even know about that because it's a button lock. Tough button lock, though. I think they do a good job. And this is another example of where, the lock geometry matters. And they do a good job with theirs. So the detents are good. I'm new to sharpening. I have Hapstone RS. I just got a new Hapstone sharpener with 150 and 400 premium CBN stones, and I am struggling with learning how to sharpen. Any tips? Yes, Derek. So first off, go and watch some of my fixed angled knife sharpening videos. I have plenty of them. Everything's gonna apply. So the only thing that won't apply is maybe the way your stone flips and the way the system I'm using, but everything else applies. So go watch those and listen to what I say perfectly, right? Like listen to the little details I say. And I would say, like I have a TS Prof Pioneer. I have the 5 tips and tricks. I think it's 5. I think it's Pro tips and tricks for the WorkSharp professional system. Watch that one. That will fucking help you a lot. Trust me, watch that one. It's Neevesknives. Just look up on YouTube. Neevesknives, Pro tips and tricks, fixed angle knife sharpening. It'll pop up. It'll have the WorkSharp, I think, in the thumbnail. That's the only problem I'm going with super aggressive stone when you're mirroring. Yeah. Lansky makes some great stones for doing serrations, both diamond and ceramic. Yeah, Lansky has a lot of little stuff. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't even know. Like, dude, it was a long time. I didn't even know they had diamond plates. I had their aluminum oxide stones when I first got that system, because that was the first sharpening system I ever had. And I used the aluminum oxide ones for so long, and I was like, man, this shit sucks. Like, you fucking hate. I'm not saying the system sucks or the stones suck. It was just frustrating because it would take so damn long because, those stones aren't going to cut as fast, for one. and they're tiny stones. But then once I got diamond plates, it's like, oh well, here we get. Then it'll, it'll shred. I mean, as good as a 1/2 inch by 4 inch stone can do. All right, I'm gonna catch up. I am very far back. Holy moly. If I knew I was going to be in the busk for a while, my Cadet Pro and the Neeves stones will be going with me. Yeah, I mean, if you can, Hapstone has a carrying case. TS Prof has that box for the KO3, but I'm sure you get a carrying case for that too. So if obviously, if you can get a carrying case and store it properly, yeah, fuck yeah. But the thing you must have, like, there's no negotiating, right? The must have is a proper way to maintain your edge and sharpen it, right? Because you might have to sharpen it. So that's why I always recommend the field sharpener. Work Sharp Field Sharpener. Linked down in the description in the Neeves Knives store. Not Neeve Knife Co., Neeves Knife Store. So check that out. And if you don't have one, get one. Now, you could say get a ceramic rod, get one of those foldable diamond. I can't think of what they're called. Those little foldable diamond plates that you can basically put in a bag. And then a strap, you can do that, but it comes with all of it, so it's all in one system. So it works really, really well. By the way, USA made apparel on the Neve Knife Co. site, linked down in the description. Actually, I have just the apparel link down there, but the USA flags, we are changing them. So if you buy any of the Neve Knife Co. USA made shirts, they are going to have the moving forward flag after this, the flying flag. So basically where the stars are on the other side, kind of like the Kershaw logo. So there's no problem with it not being one, but we've had so many comments. So we should. So we're changing that. We're swapping that. And like a buddy told me, my buddy Bama, he said to me, he's like, yeah, you kind of need to. He's like, because my whole everything that I kind of stand by and push, it is, pushing forward and stuff. So it makes sense. So, but anyway, so just know that if you get it, you're going to get that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the other flag. You're not going to get the one from the pictures. I'll take some more pictures as soon as I get mine in. But yeah, shipping out of US yet. I don't know. Try. I'm not sure. I maybe to some, I'm not sure about all. Depends on what you're buying. Because the problem with some knives shipping is just the countries, man. They fucking suck. It sucks being responsible if the thing doesn't show up and you got to refund the money, which is very likely to happen in some countries. Now, some of them are probably just fine, and I ship out to other countries all the time. However, I don't know what my partner is doing right now, so I can ask him, but I'm pretty sure we're trying to ship, as long as you pay for the shipping. But yeah, we don't give a shit as long as you're paying for the shipping. How would you rank Rex 45, Crew Wear, and K390 for edge retention? So I think K390 and Rex 45 are going to be fairly similar. K390, I think, is going to take the win. I personally like K390 the most out of those steels. Crew Wear, it has lower edge retention, so it's not going to have as good as edge retention as the other two. But it is an amazing steel. That's a steel that does multiple things extremely well. One, it takes an insanely sharp low angle edge, like fuck you sharp, like so sharp, with a mirror edge or toothy. Like, it likes any which way you want it. It doesn't matter what type of edge, it loves them all. Then its ability to hold a super fine edge for a long time, meaning like say if I sharpen this knife up, how long will it shave hair? How long will it cut before it stops shaving hair, right? It holds that edge for a very long time. Some steels say basically any steel has a working edge, right? The working edge is basically how long will it cut paper? How long will it cut until it stops cutting paper, right? A lot of steels that have massive edge retention, they're really good with working edges. crew wear is the opposite. It doesn't have super long working edge, but it has a great fine edge holding ability. Rex 45 is just a fucking beast, man. That shit, same thing. You can go polished edge, toothy edge, doesn't matter. All three of those steels, love any type of edge you want to put on them. All three are beast modes. K390 is going to be my favorite at the moment, but I do really love like 45 and crew wear. They're like right there to me, neck to neck. I love them all. I did see you play with the 110 and the 217 though. How do you feel on those? Wait, hold on a second. I gotta make sure I'm thinking of the right ones. Okay, so the 110, it was good. The one thing I didn't like was the clip. The clip is big and obnoxious on it. So when you're holding it, it's big. Like, just watch if you see my video, you'll see it's big. But the knife's good. The detent on it, kind of like with the other one too, that we were already talking about. It's like the tang of the blade, for the crossbar, so when it pulls out, it's really strong, but it starts really late. So like when you drop it down, there's times where it'll stop right there, and then you got to click it in, but you can time it just right. Look at that bayonet. Bayonets. I love bayonet blade shapes. Check that fucker out. Here's a real bayonet blade shape right there. Right there. Did you guys see those EXOs where you can get a sheep's foot and a replaceable blade with I think a bayonet blade. So you get a bayonet and a sheep's foot basically for the price of one. Damn. We're gonna check that out here in 1 second. I want to show you guys something. I polished the shit out of Rex 45 and it still had bite. Yeah. It's funny. I got Rex 45 on me. And yeah, mine still has a fucking aggressive edge. And it's a polished edge. I like Rex 45 polished. I mean, it's been used up, but so it's not as polished as it once was. But it is damn sharp still. Watch this. Let's just see how sharp she is. This is thick paper too, so it's weird. Some paper will be like super thin and will be more difficult to cut. And then sometimes the thinner paper is easier to cut. It's kind of weird. And then some paper that's thicker is more difficult to cut, and then some of it's easier. This stuff tends to feel a little bit more on the difficult side. M4 for the win. Thank you, Todd. Yes. The Neeve Knife Co. and clothing. Get yourself some Neeve Knife Co. apparel. We are going to get some plain shirts with only the moving forward flag and the little blade, like kind of like our trademark. So this is going to be like our trademark. It's just a little blade. We're going to have a little 3-inch blade somewhere. Mostly it'll be right here on the sleeve, but there's going to be some cases where we might put it like right here at the lower part of your shirt, just like right there or something, so that it's subtle, and we want shirts that work for everybody. So we want you to be able to be casual with it, where it's something you can actually wear anywhere. Obviously you can have different styles, right? So some of them are going to be more in your face. And I had some really cool knife art that we're going to be doing here pretty soon. But I personally really like, I'm not a big fan. I want to hear what you guys think too. So let me know. I should do a poll in here right now, but do you prefer shirts with very little, what's the word for it? Not branding, but, like shit on them, do you prefer shirts with stuff all over them where it's like, whatever type of shirt, or just plain shirts, subtle shirts, more casual? I personally prefer like just solid colors. And if I'm going to have something on it, I don't want it to be crazy usually. Now I'm not saying I don't want, sometimes to wear some shit that has a nice big, logo or something on it, but print, yeah, whatever. But like this to me is somewhat subtle, right? It's I think it looks good too. But without this and just with this and this, I love that idea because you can wear it with anything. So what would you take? So you want more print or less print? Um, bees better. Bees better. What's up, Sarah? I want an EXO, but I wouldn't be able to legally carry it, and I don't have $300 to $600. Well, they're only like 280. So thanks for answering my question. Makes the next knife decision easier. Hell yeah. She is in the other room. It depends. I'm a big flannel guy. If I ran out, I'd probably wear specific designs. Okay. But with the flannel, though, you still have to have an undershirt, right? So I would assume, like with me, when I wear flannels, I wear a plain shirt. Not saying it won't have any little logos, but like I said, subtle. It's going to be more subtle. Less, okay, simple for me. Okay, I like it. I like it. Plans for any back prints? Yes. We actually had some originally. We took them out and we're going to bring them back. So we do have some of those coming. Yes. Are you in control of the designs? Yes. These are my designs. More front and back and sleeve. You want it sleeved up. I like it. We're gonna have it all. So we're gonna have some with tons of shit. We're gonna have some that's basically very simple. Like I said, I want to try to hit every category. Scale Bradley blade waiting for okay. Yes, I am in control of the designs. Show the Ancalo thoughts. Oh, I do have it right here. Oh, you know what? I got it right here, but I also have another one. So we were going to check out some more new knives. So I got a new KUBEY we're going to check out really quick. Check this baby out. This thing's pretty cool. Ooh, look at that. Look at that frag. Milled pocket clip, multiple deployments. We have a kind of a drop point. It's almost a straight back tanto. Does have a dual grind, almost razor-like. Good access to the lock bar. Phenomenal detent. Very, very smooth. Very ergonomic. Very comfortable in the hand. Good looking knife. What blade steel is this? M390. I love this satin. My prototypes will be done pretty soon with from Riat, but they're gonna have a lot of changes done because there's some things that were done that I thought they understood, but it's like I keep telling them, as long as it happens in the production, I don't give a shit how the prototypes turn out. So the prototypes are going to have some differences from the production, but here's the Kylo or whatever the hell it's called with the pivot lock. It is a nice tough lock. I know whatchamacallit did I think cutting board reviews. He did he spine whacked it with a piece of wood and it failed. I would expect that though. I don't expect any folding knife except for maybe a triad lock and a couple other locks to really take spine whacking like that, like tapping it like that. Like I expect it to take that, right? I expect to take a good one, and this one does. But I don't expect it to baton. Like that's just to me, like, because that's more than strength. That's shock proof. That's impact proof. That's a lot of things that you use a fixed blade for if you're going to do that. And knives are for cutting. Knives are for cutting. Let's be fucking clear. Of course, there's axes. Of course, there's machetes. Of course, there's choppers. But just like there's also screwdrivers and pry bars and hammers and everything, there's differences, right? You wouldn't use a hammer to screw your screws in, and you wouldn't use a damn flathead screwdriver to hammer in your nails. Maybe you would if the handle was metal, but But you get what I'm saying. So treat a knife like a knife. A knife is made to cut, and that's its job, is cutting. Its job isn't to be able to withstand crazy amounts of hitting, right? That's kind of like being mad that your drill breaks when you hammer with it. Like, of course it's gonna fucking break. It's a drill, not a hammer. But I understand wanting knives that can do that, though. I get it. But those knives are going to be specific, and they are going to advertise for that, right? Like knives, most knives don't advertise like you can pound this through a brick. Most of them don't do that. Some do, but not most. Okay, next knife. This is a new one from Vosteed. I really like it too. This one's good, guys. This is a good one, and it's available right now. Link down in the description. Vosteed knives. This is really, really good. I did not think I was going to like this as much as I do. So they're using the compression lock again. Spyderco's compression lock with a button attached. Phenomenal detent. That's one thing, man, about using this type of locking system, because the detent is going to be very similar to a liner lock. Actually, that's what it is. So we all know liner locks allow you to get phenomenal detents. You know, like the detents are like some of the best on a liner or a frame. And man, look at this thing. Like literally, that was my fault. It kicks. The jimping is perfect on the flipper. It goes all the way up and around. Perfect jimping. It's got that fuller with that beautiful sheep's foot blade. Nice satin. Thumb studs have nice grip to them. It is S35VN, but that fuller, you can easily catch that fuller, or you can get the thumb studs. So super fidget friendly. Pinch grips are going to be probably where it's at. You can obviously get a full grip on it, but yeah, these locks are known to be pretty strong because it's like a liner lock, but the difference is that it's so there's a groove in the blade, and the liner drops in behind the stop pin and the groove in the blade, so it allows it to be much stronger than a conventional liner lock. So the test that I've seen done on compression locks, I think it was 150 pounds is what it held. So that's pretty damn good. Damn, look at that thing. It's so damn good. I like it. I like it quite a bit. And deep carry clip, obviously, you know, Boston's clip. But yeah, I'm not saying all compression locks are going to hold 150 pounds. I'm saying the one I seen tested held 150 pounds. But a lot of that's going to have to do with the blade geometry and stuff like that. Like you could have one knife, because if the blade snaps, it failed, right? It doesn't matter if the lock is still holding up if the blade snaps. You'd prefer that, I guess. You'd like to know that your lock is stronger than the blade. At least you'd hope. I know I showed this. I got another new knife we're going to check out, but I got to show you guys this. I showed this. Where the hell was it? The other day. In a short. So I bought this dumb ass gravity knife that is so bad. It's so bad. It was 20 bucks, but hey, man, it's $20. Heavy as a brick. I mean, like this thing is like, it's probably the weight of 5 of these, maybe more. I mean, it's heavy. Solid steel, obviously. And it's not very smooth. It definitely took, like when I first got it, it took some breaking in, because like this was not very smooth, and then this thing was not smooth. So now I've broken it in where it's actually working pretty good. So if you do get one, like I said, 20 bucks. It's shit steel. It's probably, I don't even know if it's heat treated. It's some of the worst sharpening I've ever seen in my life. And grind, man. The grind sucks too. Look at that grind. Ugh. But hey, 20 bucks. Not too shabby. But this is a time where I would say, like I said in that short, that it's better to just go with, you know, more money, just to spend more money. You get what you pay for. And with this, you got basically a throwaway knife. With this, you got a knife that's going to last you for years to come. And you can use it, you can sharpen it, maintain it. Because it costs more, you'll probably be a little bit nicer to it. And, you know, I have obviously higher quality material, so they're going to last much, much longer. Like I said, they do have the EXOs with the reblade, or new blade, I guess you could say. So, oh yeah, by the way, the Riet EXO Ks, they have some new colors now. But here, see, bayonet blade shape. So this is a double-edged bayonet blade shape. I love that fucking blade shape, man. I love bayonet blades. And a sheep's foot, full size. The only thing is that this one does not have the clip, I don't think. But if you want the clip, just go with the medium-sized one or the small. They have clip options. Medium or small. But you see how they got all these different colors? So yeah, my favorite blade shape on the Riet EXO is definitely the bayonet. And then second would be the double-edged dagger. That's just a drop point, ain't it? Yeah. But yeah, man, they're really cool. But yeah, everybody was always asking me, like, where'd you get yours? You know, because mine I have this color one. Now you can get it. And the trainer's gonna come in brown G10, but the original one, or the sharp one's gonna be aluminum, purple aluminum. So that shirt you're wearing right now looks great, but that apostrophe is a coward. Whiny away, Delta. Huh. But that apostrophe, what does that mean, that apostrophe? I don't know what you mean, but I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you. Your shirts are very cool looking. I wish they had a pocket. Do you? So I'm working on it. I'm working on long sleeves. We got some. So this is the problem. I can get hoodies. I can get long sleeves all day. It's the money. They are fucking expensive. It is not easy to get USA made hoodies and sweaters. Like the hoodie or the sweaters, they're like construction sweaters. Like they feel like Carhartts, you know. So they're thick, heavy duty, not soft. Like they're more rugged, which I personally love. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying that's a good thing, but they're so expensive. It's very hard to justify. You know, like we would have to sell them for like $70, $80 for to make anything. Like we would probably be paying about $60 a piece for them, like just us, right? Without anything else, you know. And you gotta understand, like, you know, you go through, you know, the you know, buying them and testing them and all these things, you know, which is an expense. And, you know, the shipping back and forth between me and my partner, there's a lot more expenses. But even if you just count just the cost of the shirt. Oh yeah. And then we also, that's before branding too. So that's the cost of the shirt before we ever put our logos on it. So then we have to do that. So, you know, it winds up, you know, costing a lot. Like I said, the only way, and I don't know if you guys would be willing to pay that much for a sweater. So what we're going to do is we'll probably put some up on the site, and we'll only have a few at a time or something. But like I said, they are heavy duty. So I would say if you're in construction or anything like that, they're definitely good ones to have. I tend to wear plain shirts underneath the flannel. Me too. But I do have one shirt with a snake thing on the sleeve. Very cool. Yeah, I think so like with a flannel, you could wear a regular t-shirt even if it has stuff on the arms because you're not going to see it. And then like sometimes I think with a flannel, it actually does look good to have something subtle. Like kind of like this, where it's just, you know, Neeve Knife Co. It has a knife and then that's it. That kind of looks good, I think, you know, to me. I definitely, I know a lot of men don't do this. I do. I definitely pay attention to wardrobe, fashion, and things like that. You know, just like how men, you know, like, you know, because you can tell a lot about a man by the way he dresses, the way he carries himself, everything. the things he cares or doesn't care about. And then I'm not saying one thing's better than another. I'm just saying you can tell the differences and you can tell what type of person he is. So has anybody else received their OG Mannix lightweight scales? I'm waiting for them too right now, Mikey. I'm waiting too. I actually just messaged them to see what was going on. So they're supposed to get back in touch with me. So we'll see. Just check Neeves Knife Co. only has US shipping options. Need that sorted before your knife with React comes out, because I'll be wanting one. Okay. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. I'm pretty sure the only reason why it's like that is our payment service won't allow it or something yet. I think we have to be I think now we can maybe do it, but at the time when we started it, they only let you do certain things until you grow your business a little bit, basically until they can tell you are a legit company, and not fucking people over. So we'll see. Definitely long sleeves. So the long sleeves wouldn't be as expensive as the hoodies, or not hoodies, the sweaters, but yeah, I could definitely get some long sleeves, and I'll definitely look into those. If I spend hard-earned shekels for a company shirt, I want it to be screaming that factory shirt. Okay. All right. I like it. What's up, Rick? All right, let me see. I gotta catch you up. What does that say? Never did get panty twisted about spine wax. So I've never been panty twisted, but I don't want to see one take a light tap and fail. I don't want to see that. I do think there's a level of which what's acceptable and what's not. I expect a knife to fail if I hit it hard enough, because all of them do. What I don't expect is me to hit it softer than my thumb can put pressure. Because our thumbs, yeah, we're strong, but in reality, your thumb pressure, I mean, it's probably not going to be more than 50 pounds, or maybe not even that much, maybe like 20 or 30 pounds, to be honest, so, your grip strength is different than just your thumb. So I expect it to be able to hold a certain amount of weight. Now, pressure is different than impact, though, meaning like I can put pressure down on this and it hold a lot more probably than smacking it. And the reason why is the shock, the impact, and the placement of where it's hit. When it's hit here, the pressure goes like straight to like, I think the front of the lock bar, and it goes like straight down on it. When you have it right here, I'm pretty sure more of the lock face is in contact. And then if you do it slow, right, and you just put pressure, it has time to grip, right? It has time to create friction. But when it's just fast, it's like it just slips. It doesn't have a chance. And then, if there's oil on it and things like that, obviously that can encourage it too. Are you going to make your shirts in a tall size? Less print on shirts are better. Well, like I said, we will have both. I'm glad that it's pretty open. It seems like some people like a little bit more subtle. Some people like them a little bit more loud. I love them both, so I'm happy to do both. But what do you mean in tall size? How tall are you, Bob? Now you got me curious. Now you got me curious. We go up to 5XL, but only for certain colors. And here's the thing. I have not tried the 4 and 5XL shirts. I don't mean the size. I mean the shirts. In order for us to get 4 and 5XL, it's a different shirt. So it's the same materials, I think. Half polyester, half cotton, but they're different. So I don't know how different because I haven't tried them. They look basically the same, but they're different. It's a different number. So I don't know, but I imagine they're just fine. I wouldn't imagine there's anything wrong with them. But we do go up to 5XL. We can do any color in 4 and 5XL technically. The thing is, though, is like I said, I got to get the shirts and try them out to see, like, to make sure they're still, because I hate to, recommend something and then it not be as good a quality as the ones I'm advertising. So Miranda says, Neeves, what do you think about the Cold Steel Mayhem? I love mine. I pretty much love everything Cold Steel does. I think Cold Steel, I mean, obviously they're a loved company. Everybody seems to just love them, and I'm another one that loves them. I love the thought of them just being virtually indestructible. The Mayhem is an example, man. That thing is so badass. I got a video on it, man, and that thing, it's like a folding machete, and I love that. The thing I love about it too is, like, unlike all these other knives that might be folding machetes, that's actually tough as shit. Like, that's a folding machete that you could technically baton with. You could do things with. I do think that the triad lock is tougher, not stronger, tougher than the what are they calling it? The Atlas lock, right? The Atlas lock. I do think that it's tougher. What do I mean by tougher? Taking impact long term. So while that lock will hold more weight than a triad lock, technically when you get up that high in weight, you know, it doesn't really matter. But what'll happen is, though, is that yes, it will hold more weight, but what it won't do is it's not going to take impact long term as well as a triad lock, from my understanding. Here is a new giant mouse in S90V. S90V with a beautiful satin finish. And it's got titanium scales, badass thumb studs. They actually did a decent lock bar here because they cut it on the side. So nice texturing. It is on washers, but very, very smooth. This has a very oh man. I love all actions, but there's something about that glassy, smooth action, like from like a Sabenza or something like that. That's what this is like. And this has a good detent, though, unlike a Sabenza. Yeah, very, very smooth. It's a cool knife, made in Italy. I believe these ones are made in Italy. Most of them are. So is the liner? Yeah, the liner is steel. I thought about doing a knife design with a sub liner lock in 14C28N steel. What do you guys think? That sounds like a good idea, huh? I thought about doing a very large, very slim, very thin folding knife that's like super thin, super slim, but big, and slicey as all hell. As slicey as I can get it. I imagine Jared seeing NKC Neve Knife Co. on my back and coming up to talk, or someone else here at ATL or whatever. Yeah, if I see somebody running around with my shirt, I'm gonna have to say what's up. And I hope I do, man. That would be awesome to see you know, some of you guys at Blade Show and you guys are wearing the Neve Knife Co. apparel. But we do have some that's literally just a circle and NKC. Like, we do have, like I said, some very subtle ones, and I'm very soon going to do some with no branding on the front, only on the arms. We'll do some on the back. We're going to have a little bit of everything. But I'd love to hear you guys' ideas and thoughts. Like I said, I want to do different knife art and things like that. I want to do a sharpening one. I want to do all different kinds. A steel one. Jared, do you have an 80-20.5 in your personal collection? Which steel and blade do you recommend? Yeah, I have a couple of them. I technically have my favorite one is my Transparent Knives Reblade. So this has got Magna Cut. It's 64.5 HRC with a incredibly thin hollow ground spear point blade and with the hole deployment. So this is my favorite one, but obviously, you know, the only way you're going to get this is if you go through Brian. As far as my other ones, man, I don't know, I got a 20 CV one. I don't know. I don't think it's that important on that knife. I think, so this is the problem with it. Most of them have thick geometry. So while they make a good work knife, they're not going to be something that's going to have like incredible edge retention or anything like that. The geometry is just thick. Is this the small one or? Yeah, this is the Cub. So the Cub is a little bit slicier. This one's actually pretty slicey, but and you know it's pretty ergonomic. But I don't know. It to me it's very slim in the hand. It's not the most comfortable knife. I like the knife. I love the locking system. But you know, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it, of the 80-20. I like the 80-20.5. It's crazy because I do love the 80-20.5 and I love the 80-20. But I don't know. This one has 20 CV steel. I like that they're made in Taiwan. But yeah, I don't really have a preference on their steels. Like I said, you know, if you know how to sharpen, I don't think it's going to really matter too much. Unless if you're like really using that thing a lot. I think most people aren't going to be using it like that. But I honestly don't know how they're yeah, both of these are 20 CV. This one's not as thick as my other one originally was. This one's not too bad. So, but again, very, very slim in the hand. So it's not, here's the thing. It has somewhat, it's not super thick, but it has a little bit thicker geometry. With this super slim handle, it makes it tougher to push through things comfortably. It's not a very comfortable knife to use. Like this is not something I would want to use all day. Now, if you gave me, you know, a thicker handle, or maybe just a more comfortable handle, like even this one, man, this one's great. Like I could use this all day. This is comfortable. But I don't know. These ones, man, they're just uncomfortable. So, like I said, it's not something I personally would use all day. The 20 CV is probably going to be pretty decent, I would imagine. I did have some trouble with their OS 10, but that was in the beginning. So, that is... We showed it at the beginning. It is the Method, and it's a manual budget Kershaw. Super snappy, man. That's why I was like kind of showing it just to kind of talk about their ridiculous snappy action and why do they ever do assisted knives when you can do action like this? Doesn't make sense, right? This flips so good. I can't imagine any person, any guy, girl, injured, old, carpal tunnel. I don't think it matters. You're going to be able to flip this. This is so, look how high that flipper tab is relative to the center of the pivot. You know, it's snappy. So I love Kershaw's action. I think they do an amazing job with their manual knives. But they do so many assisted knives that I don't want assisted. So let's see here. Somebody said the EXO-M is great for EDC. Yeah, I agree. No, I think it is too. I love it. I think the M, because it's locking, a very strong lock too. So here's the thing. I don't, the medium one's out there, so I can't grab it, but
Can I actually get that book back if you read it?
yes, I did. If this thing was locked, right, no pressure goes to the lock. All the pressure goes directly into solid titanium. Whether it's down or side to side, it's just direct pressure. So even if you don't even have to squeeze this, it's not going to fail, right? The worst thing that can happen is this pin or bar that's on the blade breaks or the blade snaps, but the handle and lock isn't going to fail. So theoretically, it's a very tough knife. I'm not saying the blade's tough. I'm not saying it, you know, can withstand, you know, a lot of impact and everything. Technically, it should be able to, but I'm just saying the blade will probably snap before anything happens to the handle or lock. So that's encouraging, right? Then it's super fidgety, super fun to play with. And like I said, it has the lock, the clip. It's a good one. I like it. And they have multiple different blade shapes. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Who uses the pocket on a t-shirt? What is this, 1990? Got to put your pack of squares there. Neevesknives, what's your opinion on cheese strings? on string cheese? Are they made for children or can adults still enjoy them? Cheese strings? G strings? Cheese strings or string cheese? I'm not sure what we're talking about, pizza. And since you're a pizza lover, now I think you're talking about string cheese. I don't know what we're talking about. String cheese, though. Good source of protein, by the way. There's like 8 or 9 grams a stick. How do you sharpen a convex blade with no bevel? Oh, a convex grind, like a rock stud. Well, a couple different ways. One, you can get something that has cushion, like leather. You can, some people like take some like say denim jeans, right? Take a bunch of denim jeans and stack them up, or just put like a nice little thick layer of denim jeans, and then you could take sandpaper and then put it on top and drag it. You can just strap it. Rockstead recommends using denim straps, but it's not going to come out as good as the factory. Not unless if you do it by hand. So you would have to be really good with, you'd have to probably have a belt sharpener, like the work sharp belt sharpener. You could do it on that. But without skills and without some knowledge, it's not going to be easy. The best thing you can do, or sorry, the easiest thing you can do is just strap it back as often as you can. Not as often, sorry, to the best of your ability. Then when it does come time to sharpen it, just put a damn bevel on it. I hate to say it, and trust me, that kills me too, because I have knives that I don't want the bevel on, but I probably will eventually. Just because I know sharpening the entire convex blade, it'll never come out as good as it was ever. But if you don't care about that, like if it's not a rock stud, right? If it's not a rock stud, it's not something that's $1,000. It's not something you care about that much. Then yeah, go to town, get some sandpaper, and basically just strap your blade. You know, basically because you want the cushion, so it kind of goes like this around the blade. There's a lot of different techniques. Get a fixed angled system. They have attachments for convex. I was hoping for a Mannix 2 DLC coated Magna Cut soon. With my luck, it'll be a low volume sprint run that sells out less than 4 hours. Yeah, probably. Like the St. Nick's 4V Mannix 2 lightweight. Fucking 4V, man. 4V is another steel. That shit gets scary sharp. That stuff gets insanely sharp. Did anyone get on that Kaiser drop the other day? Militol, Purple Haze, fat carbon fiber with the DLC blade. I already have one, so I would hope so, man, because that's a good one to have. 15V Rosie? I wish. That would be cool. I love looking fly as hell, and I take pride in looking good. You damn right, Lonnie. Damn right. You should. You definitely should. I think we all should. Like I said, man, the way you carry yourself and the way you present yourself makes a big difference in the way people treat you, how they talk to you, how they respond to you, how serious they take you, and so on and so on and so on. And we're all guilty of this. Like, I could literally tell you right now 2 scenarios, right? One guy walks in, looks like he hasn't shaved in 3 months. Looks like he hasn't taken care of his hair like in 10 months and 10 years, like for a long, long time. Looks like he, basically just, crawled off the street. Then you have another guy who walks in a suit and tie, right? you're probably going to take, I'm not saying you're going to be nicer to either one of them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're going to treat them morally different, but you're going to respect the one more than the other, just the way it is. Everybody's like this. It's just natural. And the reason why is because anything that takes work and effort is respected. So if you've put yourself in a position that, you know, maybe if you're running a business, even if like you're like a construction guy, right? Like if you're a construction guy and you got the right attire on, the right boots, the right everything, you're going to be much more respected than the guy who's, who doesn't. So, and then, like I said, hard work is respected. So people can see that this is a guy who puts work into himself. This is a guy who takes care of himself. He does this, he does that. They're going to respect it no matter what. They have to. Jared is making a knife with Rhea. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It shouldn't be too much longer. The prototype should be coming very soon. Like I said, I'm probably gonna have a bunch of changes, but we'll see. I'm already wanting to do another one. I technically have another design coming with another company too. We'll see how that goes. But I got another design that I haven't gave to any companies yet that I'm really, really excited about. I got mine, but they don't fit right. They're way too wide around the back spacer that holds the ball cage. So there's all kinds of play or it scratches the aluminum. Are you talking about from Goat? Because I got some from Goat and they fit perfect. But I've never had any Goat scales that didn't fit perfectly. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying it can't happen. And I know they'll replace them. But I'm just saying I haven't had that. Every single one that I've tried has been perfect. The only one I had a little issue with, and it wasn't even an issue, it was just the Cold Steel 8010, the titanium scales. I put them on a lightweight, and the lightweight has 2 tabs that the G10 version doesn't have, and they didn't account for that. But I literally cut it off with a fucking spider co. So literally like took 2 seconds. If you watch my video, like it's literally 2 seconds. I just cut the little plastic tab off and it fit just fine. If you make it tan, I can wear them under the uniform. Well, we can do any color. We only have the color options we have because that's the shirts that we have, right? You can technically we can put any color up there. We're trying to build the site up better. We need to get it where you can just see a shirt and then pick any color you want because you can order it in any color technically, but we have to put them on the site. So, Bluetooth with the 5 bones. I used your link you provided for the OG EXO with the bayonet blade. Hell yeah, Bluetooth. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I love to hear that, man. Dude, the bayonet's the best blade. It's a double. You realize, though, it is a double edge. This is sharp up here, just so you know. Just be aware of that. And I'm saying that because double edged is like if you want to talk illegal in a lot of places, obviously they're legal in a lot of places too. But like there'll be knives where it's like, oh, you can have any blade length, you can have any of this, you can have any of that, but not double edged. As if that fucking matters. Anyways, I fucking love this thing, man. I just love the look of that blade. Look at that blade, isn't it? Let me wipe this thing down. Isn't that just a damn good looking blade? A bayonet style blade shape. I think it looks good. That's a bayonet blade shape too. Look at that one. That's kind of cool. I like a good bayonet. Check out this thing. I know I showed you guys this the other day. Which way is it? This thing is so wicked. I don't think any of my affiliates have them available right now, but I think they are available places. They're only like $50 though. That's a cool gravity knife. It's called the that's what it's called. If you're interested. What's up, everybody? What's up, Derek? Okay, so fragrance of the day. Let's talk about fragrance of the day after I read Mark P's comment here. Did those light spine taps you did to Fellows Hinners was so disappointing? Knives meant to be tough, and at that price, should never feel it easily. I know. And then I had people like saying, like, oh, it was, you know, your lock face had oil on it and all these things, as if I don't know that shit. Right? I fucking run a knife channel. I work on knives. I know things that make lock slip. I know, you know, to wipe the, so it's, I've thought about doing a video because somebody did make a video saying that if you do this, this, and this, that your knife probably won't fail. And I agreed, like, okay, I'll try it. No problem trying it. But yeah, you know, even if it works on one of them, it ain't gonna work on them all. But you know, hey, it is what it is. All right, so man, I gotta catch up, guys. I am so sorry. I'm so backed up. I'm an asshole. Jay, been a member for 12 months. Hey, Jared, how does S110V do they polish? Not good. You don't want to polish S110V. So one thing, it will take an insanely sharp polished edge, like some of the sharpest polished edges it will take, but it can't hold it. That's its problem. S110V doesn't have a good fine edge holding ability. Like we were talking about earlier with crew wear, right? Crew wear, it's like its magic is its fine edge holding ability. 110 is its working edge holding ability. They're just opposite arenas, both really good. So S110V, that's going to be, it's their carbide volume is so heavy in it that it just doesn't do well with a polished edge. You're going to want a toothy edge. I think 400 to 600 grit. I personally don't like to take it over like 600 to 800 grit at max. I think it does best with like a 400 to 600 grit. You know, if it's a nice low angle and everything, it's probably a Spyderco, so you should be able to put in a low angle. Will you ever do another one with Tuco? Absolutely. We're actually going to do the FLN again in thinner geometry, a different steel, and a couple other upgrades. So, but yes, I'll probably try to do another fixed blade with them. I want to work with everybody. Do I offer 10XL shirts? No, but you can get 2 5XL shirts. What? Of course, just like I just said was. You can make a lot of knives fail if you know the method of operation, like bump locks. Somebody knows about bump locks over here. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? All right. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't even know what that means. But fragrance of the day. So, fragrance of the day, I actually have 2. They're 2 from the MANCERA line. I love MANCERA. You guys know about that. I love MANCERA. I've talked about it many times. I have not many. I have multiple bottles of their, I thought I had it pulled up. What the fuck? Guess I don't. I have multiple bottles of their fragrances, and I really like their brand. I think they do a great job with their brand. Now, I got 2 fragrances here. The first one we're going to check out. This is the better one of the 2, in my opinion. The first one, it was highly recommended, so a lot of people do like it. But this one, I can handle a little bit more. So it's called MANCERA Gold Prestigium, whatever the hell that word is. And it is a rose fragrance. Now, the oud and leather and the citrus is going to masculize it just a little bit with the muskiness. So it's very powerful. It's definitely a fragrance that gets attention. It's an attention fragrance. So it's something that you're not going to want to wear to an office, but maybe you would. Depends on your type of office. You might. But it's very mass appealing, though. It's sweet. It's you can smell that rose in there with the vanilla, and it's not a feminine rose. So you got to understand that there's different roses. There's a rose used in men's fragrances that leans a little bit more masculine. All MANCERA line is for men or women. You know, it's unisex, so all their fragrances are. Even if you get the most masculine one that no woman would ever wear, it'll still say that. So this, I would say, is right in the middle, though. So, like, it's not leaning super masculine, but it's also not leaning feminine. It's right there in the middle. It's sweet, very fresh, citrusy. You got that little bit of vanilla with the rose that just takes over the top. It's really good. I'm not sure how long it lasts because I just got it today. But it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely a head turner. It's definitely one that will get attention. It's definitely one that a lot of people would really, really like. It's very mass appealing. Now, here's the other one. The other one is actually a little bit sweeter, which this one's sweet. But because of the rose, the vanilla, I guess, is the sweet side of it. It has a little bit of like fruitiness to it. And then, you know, the rose kind of all sweetens it up together. But this next one is more of like, I don't know, like kind of a candy sweetness a little bit. So here it is. It is Instant Crush, MANCERA Instant Crush. Now, the thing that I'm a little removed on with this one, it's, man, so many people love it. And I bet you I could eventually like really, really, really like it. But it's almost too sweet for me. That sweetness is just a little bit too much for me. And it's weird because you don't really see the only sweet thing in here, maybe amber, maybe the rose and the vanilla, but there's not a lot of sweetness in here. So leather, I don't get much leather. Maybe in the dried. Oh, you know what? Actually, you kind of do get a little bit of leather in the background. You definitely get a little woodiness. So it's good. It's really good. I think a lot of people, well, I know a lot of people love it. It's the reason why I got it, because so many people recommend it. I personally, at least right now in this moment, man, they are kind of similar though. They're similar fragrances, but I would go with the gold. The gold is definitely a little bit better. You can always get I have them both. Well, I don't have them both. I have the Instant Crush. If you click the link down in the description to MANCERA, you'll see it. It's all the way on the right. They're kind of expensive through those links. You can get them more affordably if you go through any discounters, you know, discount fragrance seller. I'm trying to get me some affiliate links with discounters, but anyways, both of them are really good. So another hit for MANCERA. So MANCERA really hasn't let me down yet. I would say every fragrance I've tried from MANCERA, I really like. Some way more than others. But if you want to try like a perfect men's fragrance, that's, oh, sorry, a perfect masculine men's fragrance, get the Cedric Boise. That stuff is super masculine and super good. It's really, really, really good. One of my favorite fragrances. And then another one is that the red tobacco. The red tobacco, that stuff will get you. That stuff actually made it to where like I started going crazy into their fragrances. It's super masculine, super tobacco. Like it has a lot of tobacco. It's spicy, but like the good amount of spice, because it's a tobacco spice with sweetness. So it's sweet tobacco, but not sweet in a feminine way, sweet in a very masculine way. You almost like the sweetness with the tobacco. It's almost like it makes sense calling it red tobacco, put it that way, because it's like I said, it comes off almost spicy, but then, you know, when it really hits you, you start realizing that it's sweet. It's so fucking good. You got to smell like dating. What? You got to smell like dating, fellas. Tip of the day. Scent for your knives. Keep them smelling nice all the time with some KPL. Thank you, Todd. Yes, definitely. Make sure you get heavy and original. And he's right. This stuff does smell good. This one, it smells like, it'll come out. It just smells good. So the problem with a lot of knife oils is the smell, and it always makes people like hate to oil their knives. But KPL is sweet. And then they have like Gunny Juice's stuff. He has all different types of smells. He has some that smell like cinnamon. He has some that's all different types of smells in his oils. What knife does Tom Ford carry? Oh, he's definitely carrying probably a stiletto. Maybe even, you know what? Probably a slip joint. He's probably carrying one of these Bucks 3091s. I don't know. I think I don't know. Is he French or something? I don't know what he is. If he's French, then he's probably carrying one of those French slip joints or friction folders. This thing's pretty old. This is like a 1980s one. The blade is broke though, or has a chipped tip. Most knife oils smell caustic. I use mineral oil just because I cut food fairly often with my knives. I never have a problem with oil. So like if my oil, I use Camilla oil or whatever from KPL for oiling blades. But as far as my pivot and my detent ball, I don't try to put so much that it winds up getting all over my blade. But if it did, I wouldn't give a shit. I'll eat that stuff. I don't worry about petty shit like that. I just fucking eat it. I remember when I was 16 and woke up next to a darling and didn't want to wash all day. Bottle that and I'll buy it. Oh, that's hilarious. That is funny. You know what's funny is that they actually do have fragrances like that. They have, like I said, Replica does Memories in a Bottle, which is really good. My favorite one's Jazz Club from them so far. They also have Barbershop. This smells pretty good. It smells just like a barbershop. But there's fragrances that there's this one. It's super expensive. I can't think of the name of it. But what it does is it's going to be unique to everybody. So when you put it on, you don't really, I don't know, I haven't tried it, but the way I understand it is that you don't really smell much until it's on you. When it's on you, it pushes the smell of your pheromones. And you know, it's supposed to be very appealing, like when you're with, you know, a female or whatever, they're supposed to be able to smell your pheromones like 10 times stronger. But here's the thing. A lot of people say the gold mine is mixing it. It's supposed to be like you put that on first and then put your fragrance on. So then it's pushing your pheromone with a fragrance. It's supposedly really good. I don't know. I haven't tried it and it's so fucking expensive. I know it sounds like a scam, but it's actually not. This stuff, like I said, it's very expensive. There's a reason why it is the way it is. There's actual pheromones you can buy. Like people, you know, they've been doing that for years, and you just put them in your pulse spots, and you know it's supposed to give off, you know, more of your smell, your natural smell. But that, and not, I don't, it's not that I think it's gimmicky, because I don't think it's gimmicky. I think there definitely is something to that, but I think it's better to just smell good, because your pheromones might not be the fucking best smelling. I don't know. All right, Jared, you haven't let me down with the Versace Dylan Blue and Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky. I know I haven't, because those two are fucking great. What's my next fragrance you'd recommend? Okay, so you have right there, you have a fresh, you have a sweet. You need to go with, now, I'll just be honest. If you step into what I'm about to say, you're stepping into dangerous territories. And I'm saying that because you could love it or hate it. Okay. The thing is that most love it. And when the ones that do love it, fucking love it. So I'm going to give you one of those, but then I'm going to give you another one that is a no-brainer. Perfect. It'll work great. So the one is, like I just said, well, I would get both MANCERA Red Tobacco and Cedric Boise. I'll show it to you really quick. So the MANCERA is the Cedric Boise is their most popular fragrance, but come on, this one is mass appealing. So this one you're gonna like, you're gonna love no matter what. The red tobacco is the one I was saying that is, it could be a little dangerous. Don't look at the fruity, it's not like sweet. This is a very masculine scent. Don't look at the sweet, don't look at any of that shit. This is a super masculine scent. The fruity is an actual like plant fruit, like not like the candy fruit. So that is one I would say is a no, you have to get. That's a no-brainer. But the red tobacco is the same way, or not the same way. It's the exact opposite, because it is a very powerful beast mode fragrance that's spicy, sweet, obnoxiously fucking powerful. It's beast mode. It will last you 20 hours or more. There is an intense version that I'm thinking about getting because I love it so much, and I've heard people say that it's actually a little different. I've heard some people say it's exactly the same, and I've heard other people say it's a little different, but this is one I would recommend if you're into tobacco fragrances. But that's what I was going to say. I was going to say you need to get a tobacco and a leather fragrance. I think getting a tobacco and a leather fragrance is definitely something you should strive for. And then see if you like them. If you don't like leather fragrances or tobacco fragrances, then you can get away from them. Don't try one and paint them all the same. I'll say that this is my favorite tobacco fragrance right here. Next would be Jazz Club from Replica. My favorite leather fragrance right now is Coach Platinum. But the one I would recommend that I know for sure you'll love, every guy will love, and I fucking love it, like it's one of my favorite fragrances, is Guerlain Platine Privé. And the reason why I love it so much is it's very similar to the vibrato. If you guys remember when I was talking about vibrato, I wound up buying a bottle of it. It's so fucking expensive, but damn it, that shit, man, it's so good. Well, this stuff's very similar to that. It's not the exact same. Damn it, it just happened. Anyways, my thing got all messed up. So this is one that I would recommend for sure. This is a great fragrance. It's very citrusy. It's a citrus bomb. So it has a basically like a, I think it's grapefruit, but yeah, it's grapefruit. So it has a strong grapefruit scent. Oh baby. It's got a strong lemony scent, kind of. I know, damn it. I'm taking this off. It's supposed to be grapefruit, but it's like it smells very lemony. So it's like a lemony, super fresh, super mass appealing, super good. Everybody's gonna like it. Masculine, just an absolute great men's fragrance, great sports fragrance. You could definitely wear it to the gym. Yeah, that one I definitely recommend. So it's not the cheapest though. It's not crazy, but it's not cheap. Was going to, but my Kaiser Huntsman got nuked in a postal truck fire last week. Oh no. So still waiting on the replacement, but the Purple Haze Militar is coming to my collection soon. Hell yeah. That sucks though about the fire. It sucks if you're getting a knife that's like hard to get to, like that's always sold out, and you finally get one and then it has a fire. It's like the Lord just does not want you to have that one. Old Australia, mate. Shout out to Australia. I actually just shipped a package to Australia yesterday. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm about to get off here in 1 second. Has the EXO with the extra blade already been on? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean been on. I don't have that one, but it's the same thing I have. I mean, it's just the EXO. The difference is you just switch the blade. So the blade, you just take those off. The blade will slip right out, and then you just put this on the other blade and slip it in. So it's a very easy blade change. Like you don't have to take apart the knife. You don't have to do anything. You literally just take those two screws out right there, and it'll pop right out. and then you put the other one on. So yeah, I think it'd be good to go. I gotta go. I know, Haven, I'm about to go too. So guys, thank you guys for the donation tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for talking some knives. Don't forget to use the links if you're going to purchase any knives or anything like that. Use the links in the description of any of my videos. I do appreciate it. Even if you're buying diapers or paper towels or whatever off of Amazon, use the Neevesknives store link. That is Amazon. You can search anything you want on there and buy anything you want, whether it's soda, like I said, tampons, whatever. Buy it from my Amazon link. I do appreciate it if you guys do that. It massively helps the channel. Another thing, USA made apparel. Obviously, like I said, we're switching the flag to the moving flag. So if you do make one or if you do buy one, it will be the moving flag or the moving forward flag, not this flag, but just the same thing, just a backwards flag. And like I said, we have some more designs coming. But yeah, definitely check those out. Hopefully you guys do get some, because I would fucking love to see people start tagging me to get some Neve Knife Co. merch. Not merch. I fucked that up. I should have never said that. Apparel. It's not merch. So I would love to see you guys wearing the Neve Knife Co. apparel. That would just make my damn day. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace. David Jewell, thank you for the 2 bones, brother. Hoping tomorrow I smell like maple syrup and bacon. You know what? There's probably a fragrance that actually has that. That's what's funny. But hey, I hope you do too. I hope tomorrow morning I have a similar scent like that in the morning. Love you guys. Peace out.